So I restocked the market. I will explain what's now on the board in a second, but I see I forgot one knowledge token, so correct that. And of course I also forgot to play the bonus for this mine, so any player with a mine gains 1 silver link for each mine on his fiefdom. So apparently the blue player will get another silver link. He's really going to be a rich man, as far as I can tell. And now I explain you in a second what the new tiles are about. So what do we have in a brief? So this is another knowledge tile. This allows you, when this is placed in your fiefdom, to add 1 or subtract 1 from your die when you are placing new house tiles. So this might be important. So this is more or less like if you would have played a worker token. This is another castle. This is another farm. This is a sheep. This is a market. And when a player adds this mark to his fiefdom or his estate, he can directly take 1 ship, blue, or an animal tile from the numbered depot, from any numbered depot, of course, again not the black depot, and place it to a storage space, of course. So this is relatively powerful building. Then there is a watchtower. This watchtower instantly gives you 4 victory points. Then this is also a knowledge tile, and this only counts at the end of the game. So you gain then now 4 victory points for each of these boarding house tiles you have on your estate or your fiefdom. Might be interesting for the red player. He prepared something already like that. Then there is another sheep, and this is a bank. So when placing a bank on your fiefdom, you get directly 2 silver links to your reserve. So very nice. And now again it's still the red player's turn because he's still starting player. So let's roll some dice here and see what he can roll. So of course he still rolls for the white die. So this is a 1. So again, let's take the top good here, place it to the depot with the number 1. So again, here's a 5 and a 1. We come to that in a second. Let's roll quickly for the blue player as well. That's a 4 and a 2. We place it on his board. And now let's see what the red player can do. Again, for the red player, I think this will be relatively simple. So with his 1, he will place his boarding house here. It's adjacent to an existing field, so he's allowed to do that. And this directly grants him 4 worker tokens from the reserve. So we place them here. So he's now at 5 workers. And for his second action, for the second die, he's going for this knowledge token I explained earlier and place it also onto his fiefdom, because this will then later on grant him 4 victory points for each of these boarding houses on his estate. So right now this would be 4. So definitely a good situation for the red player. And then let's head over to the blue player. So for his 4 action, I think the blue player will go for the watchtower. Place it onto his reserve. So this was the 4. And for the 2, I think he will instantly place that watchtower on his board here. And really he wants to close or finish that city as soon as possible. So this 2 is played. And as mentioned, the watchtower will grant him instantly 4 victory points. So he's now up to 8, coming closer to the red player, but there is still a big gap. And this concludes the turn of the blue player. And again, it's a new round, and the red player still is the starting player. This time I promised I will do that right, so I will roll all the dice here. So this is the red player, this is the blue player, double 5, and a 4. So let's take the top good here and place it on the field with the number 4. Oh, this might be interesting, at least for the blue player, because he still has some room for these new goods, whereas the red player does not. He has a 6 and a 2, and we have this double 5 here. So it's still the red player's turn, or he's the starting player, so let's see what he can do about that. Okay, I think he really wants to place this knowledge token now. So as he has more than enough of these knowledge worker, he's spending 1. Oops, where is the 1? Make 1 out of that, places that, and he can instantly place this knowledge tile here. There is no instant effects. This will only calculate at the end of the game. And for his second die, for the 6, he's going to get another farm tile here. He needs to place that on his reserve, so he can place it here. So this is now the red player's turn. And let's have a look what the blue player can do. So the blue player uses 1/5 to gain another mine. This is important for him. So with the next action, he is now allowed, or still allowed, to pay 2 silverlings to gain a tile from the black market, and he's going for that warehouse here. He will place that onto his reserve at this point in time, and he will spend a token, a worker token, to change this to a 6, so he's playing that 6 now, and with his 6 he now can place this warehouse here. So now again several things happening. So for one, he plays the immediate action for the warehouse, so he can directly sell any item here, or any good pile here. And I think for right now it really doesn't matter, because there are no, he will go for this one here, so he will sell this one, so he gains 1 silverling for the seller of that one. Of course he still has this knowledge token, so he gets another worker token back for that one. And of course he also gets 2 victory points for the goods. The second effect that now took place, he finished a city, so this 3 city tile here. And let's see for the victory points chart. So for a 3 tile he gains additional 6 victory points, so this is good. So it's up to 16 now, so he's really coming close to the red player. But from this point in time, that's everything that the blue player can do. And now, again, it's off to the starting player, being still, as you can see, the red player. Again, let's roll all dice together. So here are the reds, here are the blues, and this is the white die. Let's resolve that first. So take this one, place it on the appropriate reserve here. Red has a 3 and a 2, this is a 4 and a 3. And now let's see what the red player can do about that. So for the red player, he will go for the 2 here and places the sheep here. So for once he gets 2 victory points for placing these 2 sheep. And second, he gets another victory point because he has finished one terrain type here, so it's 3 victory points for the red player. So it's 1, 2, 3, so up to 20 now. And for his second action, he will use the 3 so as it is, I guess. Yep. And takes this market tile into his reserve. This would be the turn of the red player, and now let's see what the blue player will do. So the blue player will place his mine with a 3. There is no immediate effect, remember that. And for his second die, he's going for that ship, and he places that into his reserve. And this already finished the round of the blue player and the red player. And now it's again a new round, and the red player keeps on starting. So red player will roll the dice. So let's see, so that's a 2. These are the blue dice, these are the red dice. So let's see for the blue, that's a 2. So he takes this good and places that here. That was easy. And now let's see what he can do with his own dice. So for the one, let's do that correctly. He's taking the bank from the market here, and he uses the 6 to place the market here. And this market now allows him to gain a farm tile, so an animal, or a blue tile, so a ship from the market. But remember, not from the black market. So this might be important for him. So he takes this blue ship tile here, and this now concludes his action. So, and let's go over to the blue player. So the blue player will use the 6 to get the bank here for once. Place it onto his reserve. Remember, even if he would now want to play that immediately, he would still need to have a free spot here. That's really important. And he uses the second die to place the bank here. For once he gets another victory point because he finishes the city here. So he's chasing the red player here. Then he gets, for the instant effect of the bank, 2 silverlings, which is good. And just to laugh about the red player, he will pay these 2 or give them back for his free action to buy something from the black market, and he will definitely go for these hens here because he does not want to let the red player get another of these hens, because these are really powerful to them. Remember, he always gets bonus when he plays them, so he gets that on his own reserve here. And this was the turn of the blue player. And as you can see, there's only one round left in this phase, so let's see what the red player can do about that. Again, let's roll all the dice. So this is a 1. I have these here, put them away. These there. No, it's the other way around, sorry. And now let's resolve this one here first. So this goes to this pile here. Oh, this is also pretty good. Both have ships in their reserve, so they might be really getting use of that one. But let's see what the normal turn will be. So he's spending 1 worker token to make this a 3, and with the 3 he can now place this bank. This means he gets 2 silverlings. Let's take them from the reserve. And now this 3 is done. And I think for this 2 here, he's getting another of this knowledge token. As you say, this really can really help you placing new tiles later on to your estate here. So definitely a good knowledge tile. So this was the red player. Let's see what the blue player can do about that. So this might be an interesting turn for the blue player. For once he's using his 4 to place the ship here. So again, he would go field to the right. Now he would be starting player again. Then he's allowed to gain a pile, any pile of the surrounding here. Of course he's going for these because they fit very neatly to his storage here. So he already has 3, which is very important. Then I think he will go for the castle. So he will use 1 worker token to make a 6 out of that one. Now he can place the castle to this field here. With this castle he gets an additional dice or an additional action with any number. So he can really more or less do whatever he wants to do. And I think he will definitely go for this selling action here. So he will sell this pile here. So these are 3. So again, he gets 6 victory points now. So 2 for each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he's really ahead now of the red player. He gets another silverling. And because of his knowledge card, he gets his worker more or less back. So, and this concludes this turn. Now, as you can see, there are no more goods left. So a new phase would be starting now. This time it's blue player would start again. Then again we would give all the remaining tiles back to the discard pile. Basically, the goods are staying here. And I will then also fill in the new tiles for the next phase. So, see you in a bit. So, I restocked everything right now. Of course, I already or again forgot to give the silverling to the blue player. So now he has 2 mines, so he gets 2 silverlings. So, really dying rich. Let's go quickly over what's been drawn here. I think there is another building. Yeah, this is the carpenter here. So this allows him to place, takes another brown building from the market here and place it on his reserve. There's the ship. This is another victory point card, so you gain 4 victory points for each of the warehouses you have. There's another market, animals, this time these are pigs. There's another bank, a ship, another victory card, this time for banks that you have on your field, and another warehouse and a cow. That's basically it. And as you might remember, it's now the blue player's turn because he's in the lead here. And yeah, let's do some rolling.